Good day, I am Prophet Sade Gilmore. Today is the 25th of November 2024, and I'm going to go here and release this word of God that He wanted me to release for today. The line in the sand has been drawn. Cross the line, said God. Let's talk. So before I get deep into that part of this word, God has me going over some things and recording some things, talking about some things. So I have to be a little transparent and talk about the timeline of God that He has me on right now. So from July 24th through October 21st of this year, 2024, if you don't know, that is 90 days. During that 90 days, the Lord had placed me into the furnace of affliction. He placed me back into the fire and allowed me to do 90 days of suffering. During those 90 days, which is no secret because I was with my kingdom spouse at that time, the Lord, He sent me back into the fire because I chose to go back. Instead of obeying what the Lord had told me to do during that early month of July, I chose to go back into sin. And the Lord, shortly after, on July the 24th, put me in under a 90-day period of suffering. During those 90 days, the Lord turned my kingdom spouse heart against me. And this is something He allowed me to know. And allowed my kingdom spouse, the wickedness that's in my kingdom spouse, or that was in my kingdom spouse during the time, He allowed his wicked ways. He used his wickedness against me. During that time, what I mean, He allowed my kingdom spouse to entertain other women, to be with other women, and He allowed me to feel it. He showed me and allowed me to suffer, but not only through a kingdom spouse, but He allowed, period, my other enemies too, during that 90-day period of suffering. But during once the 90-day period of suffering ended, once that test was complete, came October the 21st, which was a Monday night at midnight. Once that test was complete, my kingdom spouse was supposed to turn back. He was supposed to cut off the wickedness that he was doing against me because it was done. It was complete. Um, Came October 22nd, he chose to go on, continue doing what he was doing. The Lord allowed me to hear him, warn him 3 times before November the 16th came. And I'm going here because he's part of it too. November the 16th is the day the Lord drew the line of sin, drew the line of judgment in the sand. That's why He said the line has been drawn. Cross it. He allowed me to hear him, warn him 3 times to stop doing what he was doing, to turn back. But he chose to stay out, crossing that line. He's one, too. He's an enemy, too. And let me just pause and say this. The Lord said that this is open judgment. Anybody can get it. Now, let me stay focused. So, from October the 22nd through November the 30th, which is currently going on now, the Lord has me in a 40-day storm. Now, let's talk about this 40-day storm, because the Lord said now is the time. The time is now. As I said, the time is now. So back in 2021, the Lord showed me some things, and some of the things He told me was about the 40-day storm. And He told me your 90-day stand, your 90 days shall fall. He was talking about my main enemy, Emma Hollins, and those that still stand in agreement with her, like her leader, Sylvia Hunter. Back then, the Lord had me to tell Emma Hollins also that she can expect His judgment come January. Now, let me pause and be transparent right there for a minute. One thing the Lord never told me was a year. I assumed out of my own assumption. He never told me to put a year on it. But like I said, I assumed out of my own assumption because of the time that was going on back then. It was very much real. But the Lord had to grow up my understanding from the place that I was at back then. He never told me 2022. But if you don't hear the video, I did say January 2022. The Lord only told me the month. But last, the Lord woke me up this morning and told me the time is now. That's why he had me going on and re-recording videos and re-releasing things that he told me, even dealing behind my kingdom spouse. So let's go. So back during that time of 2021, not only was Emma Hollins warned by God that once I left from that place, she was not to follow me no more. Meaning, even call herself praying, don't mention me, don't put your mouth on me, none of that. She was warned. And that place was once I came from out the furnace of affliction. Because remember, I just said I've been in this process for 10 whole years. I just never completed it. Past the test of obedience up to now, this year, as Lord said, it took 10 years. I went back. That's why I'm redoing it now. But let me not get off track. So in 21, she was warned. Then the Lord also had me to warn her leader, Sylvia Hunter. It was either the following year in 22 or I don't want to say 23. No, it wasn't 23. It was either 21 for a fact or 22. The Lord sent me to her church and personally warned her out of church. I said she was done with church about these 40 days. During these 40 days, she was not to put her mouth on me. She was not to mention me. None of that. Don't call yourself praying for me. She wasn't the only one. The Lord had allowed me to warn other people during that time about these 40 days. The thing is, he just never told me when the 40 days was coming. The actually 40 day that he was talking about was coming. And so they was warned. They was warned. And the Lord told me, even when I was still in the furnace of affliction, he told me when the day of judgment was coming, which means like when he was drawing a line in the sand. They crossed that day of judgment. He told me November the 16th. So I'm going to say this before I go on. This is the 40-day storm that the Lord currently has me in. The line of judgment was drawn in the sand November the 16th. During these 40 days, if you call, and I'm not even going to limit and say even during these 40 days, but period. During these 40 days, I know for a fact, don't mention me, don't put your name, my name in your mouth, don't call yourself praying for me, don't speak against me in no type of way, don't come against me in no type of way, including kingdom spouse. He's in trouble right now by God. He's currently going through judgment by God now because he refused to during that time return back before November 16th. He's currently under the judgment of God. The Lord allowed me to know, even let me just say this, even last year, December 31st, the Lord had me to warn her that if she go Emma Hollins, he had me to warn Emma Hollins that if she go trying to have me locked up again, she should surely die. It's no secret, her judgment is death. The Lord been told me, had me to tell her. And the Lord allowed me to know even back in December last year that she was going to try it again. But we've been seeing that. But let's go on. The Lord even showed me a vision, I want to say like a week and a half ago, where I said to her, I said, you think I don't know you try to file a writ? You think I don't know you filed a writ? So it's whether she done literally did it now, before this video or after this video, she's gonna try it or she already done tried it again. But this is open judgment. I'm gonna say it again. Anybody can get it, said God. Don't cross that line. No, I'm gonna tell you how God said, cross the line. The line in the sand, the line of judgment has been drawn. November 16th was what, last week? It's not the devil. Because y'all suffering and finna get rid of stuff. It's not the devil. It's God moving against you. It's not the devil. But let me go ahead and say this before the 10 minutes is up. Because one thing the Lord did also show me last year, and I done recorded, is about how she gonna get stage 4 breast cancer. And he showed me, allowed me to see people trying to pray for her. Don't pray. He told me they praying for her death to be prolonged. You wasting your time because her death will not be prolonged. Because she was warned many times before. She was warned. Before I go, I'm going to say this last part. As the Lord told me last year, which is the time is for now, the death certificate has been signed, said the Lord. So y'all wasting your time trying to pray. Because as the Lord had me to tell her back in 2021, you can expect his judgment come January. I am Prophet Sade Gilmore.